And they didn't say the same thing about Caitlin Clark, which is why I'm going to go where I'm going, okay? Let me see everybody up on the screen when I say this, please. Caitlin Clark is white. And because she's white, and because she's considered box office and she's a star who happens to be white, that is why Eminem, when I brought up words like envy or jealous or resentment, whatever word you wanted to pick, I didn't say it in a negative fashion like, oh my God, it's a problem. I used the word justified. You know why? Because black people throughout this country for years have felt that level of ire because we know we've got to be twice as good to get half as much. We know we've got to extend ourselves. We know we've got to put ourselves on Front Street to have a shot at getting half. Pick a profession. Pick a name. Ask yourself, pick the biggest star. Pick the biggest star in podcasts. Pick the biggest star in television. Pick the biggest star in sports or whatever. That's black. And ask yourself the question that we all ask. If they were white, what would they be? How much money would we get paid if we were white? How much success would we reap if we were white? How much endorsements would we get? How receptive would America be to us? Because it's still 60% of the population. And even in the year 2024, when the white populace in this country is dipped from 90 to 85 to 80 to 70 to now 60% and dipping, okay, even now, you have a situation where you get somebody who happens to be white and they're a star and they deserve the acclaim. They receive something we know we wouldn't receive on that level. Why do you think I say on national television, when white folks catch a cold, black folks catch pneumonia? Because it's always worse for us. There's always an extra challenge. We always have to go through more. It's not a secret. We get it. And so all I'm trying to say to you is when Angel Reese said what she said, let's read between the lines. Because what she's really saying is that this is really not a big deal. We're making it a big deal because of what I did and who I did it to. If it was another sister that I did it towards, it wouldn't have been a problem. But because my black self did that to the golden goose, who happens to be white, it blew up. I've reaped some benefits from it, and I'll take that. But in the end, we know what it is. She is saying and articulating and being symptomatic of things that we have been going through as a community for decades, if not centuries. And the sad part is that in the year 2024, this is further evidence we still going through it. Because in the end, like you said, Eminem, like you said, Janae, like I know you know, Shay Shay, if we weren't talking about Caitlin Clark, but we were talking about this happening with a sister, guess what? We wouldn't have been talking about it at all. It wouldn't have been a story. The golden goose was touched. And all I'm saying is, I know this. Y'all know this. I'm just saying, rather than resent it to the point where it's an impediment to our elevation and success, let's exploit it and reap the benefits from it. Because that's what they do.
Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and even a broke clock is right 2 times a day. Now, while I disagree with damn near 90% of what Stephen A. Smith says, he was right on that mark. If she had done this while he was in college to a black player, nobody would have been talking about it. Because if I'm not mistaken, Caitlin Clark did this first. If it wasn't a black sister that Kennedy Carter that pushed her, we wouldn't be talking about this, right? If she had pushed a black girl, nobody would have cared. But because she was black, they had something to say. Even though Caitlin Clark was known in college to be pushing players, being physical, right? Like nobody said nothing. It happens to her, then everybody's up in arms. And I do agree to the point we do have to be twice as good to get half as much. That's just where we at in America, and people can disagree or not like it. Doesn't change the fact I think Chris Rock had made this joke a while back. He said, in my neighborhood, I live in a neighborhood with Jay-Z, Mary J. Blige, right? The white dude that lives next door to me is a dentist. If a black dude lived in my neighborhood and was a dentist, he had to invent teeth. That's how good we got to be, because just being mediocre like Caitlin Clark is, being black, it just ain't going to get you there. But because she's exceptional as a white person, there's a lot of players that are way better than her. Angel Reese comes to mind. Hell, she won the championship, or one of the championships. I think it was the last one, the senior year in college. She won that. But it don't seem like she's getting half the publicity or the endorsements or the sponsorships. So, yeah. As opposed to, as far as him saying that we jealous. Wrong. I don't think it has nothing to do with jealousy. Maybe resentment, but not jealous. I don't think there's no, as hard as it is on the planet as a black person, I don't think no black person is jealous of white people. Not white people. Maybe the plight that they might be in, or the situations or the fair treatment that they get, but not them as people. Like, a lot of people got this messed up. They think black folks just innately are jealous of white people just cause. No, it's because you're not getting harassed by the police. You're not getting all these harsher sentences in prison. You're not getting restrictions in job markets. You're not getting obstructed for resources. Like, it's not, just daily living isn't an obstacle as much as it is for black people. That's not to say white people don't have no obstacles. So all you racist trolls, slow down. Slow that shit down. Just listen to what I'm saying. It's just the fact that you don't have to go through it as much. In any event, if y'all like this episode, you know what to do, and I'm out.
No one's ready to do